This video you are about to watch is brought to you by IB Private Tutors. They are specialists in preparing students for IELTS, SAT, PTE, GMAT, and other English proficiency tests to Japa outside Nigeria.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Ayo and I make videos from Ibadan, State, Nigeria. I make videos about family, lifestyle, relationship, everything about family. Basically, and most recently, I mean, all through last year, I started saying most recently, but not recently anymore. But let me just use that same word. Most recently, I started making videos about real estate. And the most interesting part is that all of my videos about real estate, land and properties, they are really doing well. And I think it's one of the things that I really want to concentrate pretty much more on in this new year, just because the feedback is encouraging and just because you guys like it. So that's why I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot of that this new year. And I must say, compliments of the season, Happy New Year. It's my first video in the new year and I'm really excited to be back here on the channel. Last year ended for me. I said I was going to quit YouTube. I said it here, even right on this spot. I said that I wanted to leave YouTube, but I thought about it again, that even if the figures are not coming in, but I'm sure that one day, somehow, somewhere, someone is just going to find any of the content that I drop interesting and do it. So without further ado, let's just get straight into what today's video is all about. And I have here my wife. For some of you who are very familiar with this channel, I'm sure that you already know this face. You must have seen her in a couple of my videos, in my vlogs. All right, so this is my wife here. Hi. And say hello. Okay, so this is my wife and today's video is really different. So I remember last year in the video where I said I wanted to quit YouTube. By the way, this video is brought to you by the Private Tutors, but I'm going to link that video, the one I mentioned something about quitting YouTube. There's something important for you in that video, and I'm sure that video is going to help you understand this particular episode or this particular video pretty much more. So this is my wife, Peace, and she is the, I don't like to call you CEO anyways, but she owns IB Private Tutors.
Okay, so basically what we do is to prepare students who want to take language proficiency test exams, from the IELTS to TOEFL to PT to GRE to GMAT and all other proficiency examinations. That's basically what we do. We run classes both on site and virtual, that's via Zoom, Google Meet, WhatsApp, as the case may be. And to the glory of God, we've had or recorded a lot of success in that regard.
In this video, we're going to be sharing with you, or she is going to be sharing with you, things you need to know before you write IELTS in 2022. This is January. A lot of people, are getting their year straight on the move. They are planning. It's the Japa season, guys. You already know. Japa has been on in Nigeria right now for almost 2 years now, and 2021 came with massive move of Japa. Trust me, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God even said it, that the economy is not getting better anytime soon. However, if you have the opportunity to move, or when the opportunity comes, you need to grab it. And one of the greatest key of getting outside of Nigeria right now, there are other opportunities actually, but of course a lot of people tend to follow the IELTS kind of path, especially for those who want to go to Canada, I guess.
Yes, Canada, UK, US.
Absolutely. So in this video, we are going to be sharing with you things that you need to know before writing IELTS in 2022. If you are ready for this video, then we are ready.
About 5 things you need to put into consideration before you take the IELTS test exam. IELTS is a language proficiency test exam. It's an English language proficiency test exam. The idea is that the higher your level of the usage of the language, the higher your score. The idea is to test your ability to use the English language. Basically, you're going to an English-speaking country and you need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to write. You need to be able to converse in the English language. So the IELTS is like a leveler that shows, or is an exam that shows your level or your competence at which you can use the English language. So I'm going to be highlighting about 5 things you need to put into consideration before you decide to take the IELTS test exam. The first thing you need to put into consideration is to get an international passport. That's that's
International
that's the
passports,
first
number
thing.
one.
Get your
Mm.
international passport. I feel when you think of traveling out, or if you are considering traveling out, or if you are considering relocating, either studying abroad or final migration or relocation, the first thing you need to do is to get your international passport. Trust me, there's no magic that can occur without the international passport.
Mm.
For the IELTS exam, we can't even do your registration without your international passport. So the first thing for whoever wants to take the IELTS exam and you don't have an international passport, put whatever it is you are doing on hold and go to get your international passport. In the western parts of Nigeria where I currently reside, it takes about 6 months,
That's a long time.
even more than that currently, because they've been having issues with papers and.
Are they having issues with papers genuinely, or they don't want people to go?
I know.
Okay, let's move.
I don't know, but I know that in the last 1 year, a lot of my students have had issues getting their international passports, paying before you get your capturing done and a whole lot. So that's the first thing you need to work on, because if you decide to prepare for the exam first before you get your international passport, trust me, we are human beings, we are adults, we forget the whole lot, especially when we're thinking about money, family, and a whole lot of things. So it's an exam I advise that immediately you are done with your classes, you take the exam immediately. And one thing that can delay you is your international passport. So the first thing you need to do is go get your international passport. That's number one. The second thing I would also advise that you do before you take the IELTS exam is that you should understand the purpose of the exam. Understand the dynamics that works for you. Now, for those in the medical line, it's a different thing entirely.
Okay.
Because whether you are relocating or you are studying as a medical practitioner, you are taking the academic module
Okay,
of the
so
IELTS
so
exam.
sorry. If I get your idea, you mean there are like two segments?
Yes, there are two modules.
Okay.
There are two modules to the IELTS exam. We have the general and we have the academic.
Okay.
So ideally, the academic is basically for those who want to go study abroad.
Okay.
So it's different. Well, the only difference is with the reading and the writing section of the exam.
Which is harder? Are the exams harder? Is it
Yes.
something like WAEC and NECO?
No,
Okay.
no, it's not something like WAEC and ECO.
Okay.
The academic module, of course, for the IELTS exam, you are going to be tested on 4 different sections: reading, writing, listening, and speaking.
The same thing is applicable to both general and
general and academic.
Okay.
Reading, listening, writing, and speaking for both academic and general.
Okay.
Now, the difference between the academic and the general module is with the reading and the writing section, and that's because for the academic, I would say, is much more difficult. Okay. Why? Because of the kinds of passages you are going to be working on the reading section. Okay. So for reading, you're expected to read passages and answer questions from them. Something similar to what we did on our comprehension passages in secondary school. So, okay. But there's a whole lot of difference because, yes. So for the academic section, the passages are much more difficult. They're much more complex. Trust me, the academic passages. And one major issue that people have there is the fact that, I'm an art major, and then you're giving me passages on science, passages on.
And that brings us to the point of
exactly.
Preparation.
So that's why you need to prepare.
Okay.
But for general, it's easy. The passages you're working on are not even lengthy. They are short. They are straightforward. They're not even the conventional kinds of passages, because you're going to be working on things like leaflets, like instruction manuals, and adverts, basically. So straight to the point. But the thing is, the mark scheme for academic reading is lesser than the mark scheme for general reading. That's because, of course, the general passages are much more easier.
So yes. I mean, as we move away from that, basically what you're saying now is, before you write IELTS, don't just say, I want to write IELTS, I want to Japa, register me. You need to know what you need.
Yes.
Because if you need general and you go write the other one,
you can't use it
for a waste.
Yes.
And if you need the other one and you write general, it's a waste. So that's one that you need to understand the purpose
of the exam.
Why you need it. Okay, let's move to the next.
Though I said for the medical line, it's entirely different for them. So whether they are relocating or studying, you have to do academic.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As a nurse, as a medical doctor, as a pharmacist, whether you're relocating or you want to go and study, you're taking academic.
You're just taking the academic.
Yes, you're taking academic. So there's nothing different. So the first thing we mentioned was for you to go get your international passport.
Number one.
The second thing we also discussed is for you to understand the purpose of the exam, which would determine the module that you're supposed to write or the module that you're supposed to prepare for.
Okay.
Now, the third thing I will also tell you to put into consideration is to know what band score you need. A whole lot. I meet students and oh, I want to write the exam, and I'm like, okay.
Do you know what? Let's break it down. For the purpose of people who do not, because I know that the regular, we talk about CGPA in uni, we talk about score. What is band score? What are the band scores?
Okay.
You know, so that we also break it down. Yeah.
So for the IELTS exam, we use band scores.
Okay.
That's the grading
the
system.
grading system.
Yes.
Okay.
So the highest is a 9.0. The lowest is 1.0.
So if you get 9, you're a bado.
Yes. But this is why I said you should know the band score you need. Some people don't need more than a 5.5.
Okay, for wherever they are.
For whatever it is they are.
Whether for immigration or for academics.
Yes.
Okay.
I know some schools in Canada that require students who want to come in for undergraduate programs to just submit a 5.5 in their IELTS.
So you don't have to push yourself so much.
So it means you don't need to push yourself. Exactly. So you need to know, because the score you need, or the band score you need, in a way determines your level of preparation.
Okay.
So the way someone who needs a 5.5 would prepare would be quite different from the way someone who needs a 8.5 would prepare.
Okay.
So know that, and that push, that's going to be your drive. That not just, I'm preparing. It's just like you want to prepare for a WAEC, and
you're targeting A1.
Yeah, and you're targeting A1. And for you to target A1, you're probably sleeping 3 months to exam. You're still saying, when it's a month to exam, I'll prepare. You're working towards
you're not a genius.
A C, and you're not a genius. You're working towards a C. So it's the same thing. The band score you require determines your level of preparation. It will definitely fuel you. If I need 8.5, certainly I know I have to do so much, practice so much, and a whole lot. That's number 3. Now the fourth one, which a whole lot of us try to shy away from, is to know your level of the English usage. Be true to yourself. Exactly. Be true to yourself.
All right.
And of course, I've had people that all I do is just register them and they go take the exam.
And they do well.
And they do very well. I just register, send them practice materials, and then they go take the exam and they're fine. And they do very well. And some people require that they take classes for 2 weeks. I trained a lady in November, and I just trained her for 2 weeks. So all she needed was, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so just tell me what I'm supposed to do, and it's fine. And 2 weeks we were done. And
that means you need to also be very truthful to yourself.
That's what I said. You should be truthful to yourself.
What is your foundation like?
Yes.
Academically, especially when it comes to the usage of English language.
Yes.
Okay.
So know what you need. Some people will tell me, Mrs. Please perform your magic in a month. I'm looking at the person.
Are you going to enter their head?
I'm telling the person, hello. We are having conversations, and then you are code switching, infusing Yoruba in your English language. It means I have a whole lot to do, because you can't go there and go code switch or code mix. It's not possible. You have to focus on the English language alone. And trust me, like I said when we started, it's quite different from the way we use the English language here in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, we do more of theory. They do application. So we assume a lot. They don't assume. They work on facts. And
I mean, they are the original owners of the language, so they expect you to
come up
at
to
least
that
a level of mastery.
Exactly. So be true to yourself. That's the thing. I know that, and people come to me and say, every other aspect I don't have issues. It's just the writing section of the exam, and it's fine. And then we train them on the writing section of the exam, and they are fine, because every other section. So be true to yourself. Know your weak points, know your strengths, and then work on it. So we try to shy away from the truths here in this part of the world.
Okay.
So be true to yourself. Know that some people, there's someone I'm currently teaching, and these are 3rd months. And trust me, she has made considerable progress. The way we started, in fact, I was teaching her yesterday, and a colleague came in and heard me speaking Yoruba. We were taking the speaking section of the exam, and the person heard me speak Yoruba. And after I ended the class, she was telling me, are you teaching that person in Yoruba? I said, yes, that's how the person understands. So I had to mix. Do you understand? For me to pass across that message, that kind of person cannot take that exam after a month.
Okay,
we are in a 3rd month now.
She needs to write like almost immediately,
and she has to do it immediately
after the class, so that she can.
Exactly. So we are taking classes, and then we are helping, and she's made considerable progress. As at the last exam, or the last mock that she did, she already had a 7.0.
Wow.
And I told her, this is beautiful.
If you push yourself
a bit more, you get
make it
8.0
or 7.5.
Exactly. So be true to yourself. Know what works best for you. Don't just assume, I'm going to get 8.0 on my own. I'm going to you guys. So know what works best for you. Aside that, so the first thing we started out with
international
passport. The second thing we mentioned was purpose of the exam.
So that you know the module you want
so that you know the module. Thank you very much. The third thing we mentioned was the band score. And then the fourth thing we mentioned was knowing your level of the English usage.
Absolutely.
And then working on that. So now the fifth thing, which is going to be the final thing, is understanding the dynamics of the exam. You need to know what you are going there to do.
Okay.
So you understand. So it's not like, oh, register me for the exam, I'm taking the exam tomorrow, and then it's not reading. So
it's not comprehension.
It's not comprehension. Yeah, that's why I said it's similar to, I didn't say it's so comprehension. So it's similar to comprehension, but it's not comprehension. So understand the dynamics of the exam. The question types are different.
Okay.
And the skills needed to answer each question type is different. The way I would handle a short answer question, it's a question type under the listening and the reading section of the exam. It's quite different from the way I will answer a true false not given question on the reading section of the exam. So each skill needed to answer each type of question is different. So understand the dynamics of the exam. So it's not like you're getting there and then you're lost. I met someone, let me tell you a short story. So I met someone, I think 2 years ago, and that was her second attempt at the English exam. Okay. And then she said the first time she took the exam, that a friend of hers told her, you need to, for you to travel, you need to take the IELTS exam. And she said, oh, no problem, register me. And the person registered her. And when she asked, she said she went online and she thought that she was supposed to do reading, listening, writing and speaking. And she said, oh, no, that's no problem. She didn't prepare, she didn't do anything, and that was it. When she got into the exam hall, they gave her the reading question paper. And Auntie thought that they were going to call them one by one for them to read out.
Okay.
So she said 40 minutes into the exam, and a 1 hour exam, 40 minutes into the exam, she was waiting. But she saw people scribbling, reading, and she was wondering, what's wrong with you people? Are you not supposed to wait? She said,
just because the name of the section is called reading.
So she said she was saying, what's wrong with you people? Are you not supposed to wait for your turn before? And that was when she read the first instruction on the first passage. Because she had 3 passages.
I actually even think she's not smart. Because really, you should read instructions when you want to.
Well, she was just waiting for someone to call on me and tell me to read this particular line or read this particular sentence or this particular passage or paragraph. And that was when she read the first instruction and she realized, oh, I'm supposed to answer questions on these passages. So it was a total disaster. For the writing section of the exam, well, she knew that you write. She saw the essay questions.
That was like
that was straightforward. But the thing is, these people require structure, which is different from how we were trained to write here. So they require structure. They require a particular pattern, and she just did. Oh, I wrote an essay. She told me about that for about 100 lines or 100 words. She had. She was just telling stories. I'm like, hello. That's Mama.
Okay, so let's do it this way. As we round up, let me ask you 2 questions because I don't want this video to be too long. Let me ask two questions. Okay. How long do you need to prepare before you write IELTS? If
I was to take the exam.
Okay. No, like not you.
Oh,
like you had someone wants to write IELTS, and the person is thinking. Just say frequently asked questions. How long do you need to prepare to write IELTS? Do you need to prepare for like 6 months before you write? Can I prepare for just 2 weeks before I write? So how long, as a professional in that, in that field, how long do you suggest someone, prepare before writing the exam?
Thank you very much for that question. It's different per person.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yes.
Okay.
Different strokes for different folks, like you said. Now, a student that just left secondary school, it's still fresh.
Okay, so you can easily
so in a month you're fine. You take the exam in a month and you get 8.5. So, but someone like you, you're a family man, you're working. Majority of the time you're not home. You probably require like 2 months. 2 months of intentional practice.
Because there are too many things in your head.
Yes,
you're doing too many things at the same time.
Majority of the time, I structure my classes in such a way that after I teach you, I create like at least 2 weeks where you're only coming to take practice tests. Why? Because I realize that And trust me, I understand. I realized that immediately we leave the class.
Okay. You get to other things,
and then
you close the book.
Books are,
and you're not coming back to the books until you come back to the class again.
You're not coming back to the books until you come back to class again, and that's it. So I factor in the practices I think you need. I tell my students, when you come to my class, you should take at least 20 reading practices, and I factor that in myself. So I include that in your duration with me. So it depends on. Some people have that time. I'm not doing anything currently. I just want to focus on the IELTS exam. A month, 2 weeks, you're fine.
Okay, so let's do it this way. If you are still seeing this video to this particular level, let's do it this way. If you want to write IELTS and you have questions that you want to ask about IELTS, I'm going to link a company's number below. I'm going to put it in the description box and also on the screen so that you can have the opportunity to send in questions. However, if you do not want to send in questions, just drop your questions in the comment section.
Yes,
drop your comment in the, your questions in the comment section, and hopefully we make another video, answering some of those questions. So drop the questions in the comment section and we will surely come back to answer. And hopefully, this woman is too busy. She might not have my time, but really, if we come back, maybe the next time we come back, we'll answer a few other questions as it connects to family, because this channel is about family, really. So we connect, IELTS to family. You want to travel with your family. Who is writing? Who is not writing? Who is supposed to, all of this mathematics of IELTS. So that's what this video is all about. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And if you're still watching to this particular level, you're the real G. Trust me, if you're writing IELTS this year, just because you're watching this video to this level, you're going to pass. Please, one other thing, share this video so that it can get to the appropriate and the right people that needs to see this video. And Japa.